Stalking a monster bull. Monster bull. Look at that whitetail.
Well, that one didn't work, just like every single morning. We always get so close, but so far away still. It's just really, really tough to close the distance on bow range. There's too many eyes, there's so many does and satellite bucks.
I can tell you one thing for sure. I don't think we've ever been hunting in April in a more beautiful landscape. This is exactly what you think of when you think about flying across the world to come to Australia, of all places, to chase around some fallow deer, red deer, and what we're after tonight is actually some of the wild introduced goat species that are just roaming through these hills. We're running short on daylight, so tomorrow is actually when we jump in the truck and we drive all the way north into hunting camp with Dwayne. And so tonight we're kind of just messing around, and we got a couple groups of goats spotted. We're gonna sneak up over and honestly just try to make a play on something. The wind's not great. If we can get close, cool, but I'm not gonna shoot over 30 yards. It's a small target, a lot of wind. Just wanna get out and stretch the legs and see some country, and I tell you what, it's beautiful from what we're seeing so far, so.
If I'm being completely honest with you, up until a year and a half ago, I was never aware of the incredible hunting opportunity that exists in Australia. Like most people, I've always dreamt of flying across the world to New Zealand in search of giant red stag and fallow deer. But what I didn't realize was that Australia is also home to incredible populations of these same species. And as I got chatting with a good friend of mine, Vernon Cogswell with Southern Cross Distributors, he quickly convinced me that we had to experience it for ourselves. Before we knew it, Vernon introduced us to Dwayne Taylor with Wild Safaris, and plans were quickly put in place for us to spend 3 weeks exploring the wilderness of Eastern Australia. Unlike New Zealand, the vast majority of wildlife in Australia is free range, with massive expanses of farm and cattle land tucked deep into the backcountry. In fact, this is the premise for the hunt itself. These ranches have become so overrun with wild fallow deer that the landowners are desperately trying to bring their numbers down. And this is where Dwayne comes in. Dwayne has built a strong relationship with several of the larger landowners in the region and has gotten permission to operate hunts through his outfitting company named Wild Safaris. On this hunt, we would be spending time in camp at 2 of his different locations, starting with the smaller southern location before heading north to the larger one.
all fallow, every single one of them have all got white bums.
Oh, okay. That helps a lot. Yeah, I don't see him. He could have went into them trees though, right?
Yeah, because that whole ridge line, where the tree line is here, that's where the rocks are.
Yeah.
And then down below that is it's just a big flat that comes along, and then just below that again is the creek.
Yeah. Okay.
And that feeds into, you know, the one that we crossed the bridge.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like it, but it starts just in this valley.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and it runs down and then goes east, and then obviously heads to the north. Because they'll come down from here.
Yeah.
They've been feeding.
Well, like you said, because they were feeding up in the
There's the oats,
right?
as you can see.
So they were coming up right through here.
Yep.
Okay. Well, what do you grab our bags and go for a walk?
We can just hop over the edge here and we can have another scan. I normally go this way, so I can, you know, get around, and then I can see all the way across that. Then if I need to, I'll come back around and then drop down in because I know where they are.
Yeah. Sure.
Because obviously they're always going to go with the wind.
Yes. Yeah, there's a couple there.
Oh,
The white one? Or is that a sheep? There was a brown one right behind it though. See, he's coming out.
Yep.
Those are deer.
Just walking in the open there. Yeah, no, there's two.
Doe and a fawn? No, there's 3. That's really cool. He's going nuts down there. You can just hear him croaking. So yeah, I think if we drop down, the wind will be better over there as well. Okay, yeah, let's get in there.
Fatal Impact is proudly sponsored by Wood Wheaton Super Center, Black Widow Innovations, the MD of Bonnyville, Weatherby, Glendale Targets, Deluxe Wall Tents, and Wapiti River Outdoors.
That's so cool. There's 2 of them, and they're going back and forth. I'm hoping we're kind of in the middle. They might come together. I just can't believe we can't see them. It's wide open. Where are they? I don't know why it seems like you fly halfway around the world to hunt an animal exactly like we do at home, like a mule deer. So they were calling really hard all morning, but we got in here late by the time we found where they were at. And we actually found one that's not bedded, but he's like holding up in a tree and he doesn't want to go anywhere. He's a really nice stag. And somehow he let us sneak down the hill looking straight at us, looking away. Every time he'd look away, we would run a little bit. And we're down in the creek here now, and we should have a clear runway to literally go up, and when we peek over, it should be under 40 yards. So he's gonna be looking, which is tough to get a shot. of them.
Fatal Impact is proudly sponsored by Scree Gear, Top-Notch Taxidermy Studio, OnX Hunt, Covert Scouting Cameras, Mad Ramps, Federal Premium Ammunition, and High Mountain Seasonings.
I think I hit him good. I don't know. He reared up hard, and he was really hurt, but it almost looked like a punch through shoulder. I didn't get a ton of penetration, but it should have been enough. It really hurt him. Did you see him go up?
Yep.
Did he tip over?
He tipped and then he ran just over.
Okay.
So we'll follow him up, yeah.
God, I knew it hit him hard, but I didn't know if it was like forward or what, but I think...
It's still in him, yeah.
Yeah, I see it's still in him. That
Well,
was...
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
It was a perfect quartering away shot. Like it was...
Yeah, that was awesome.
It was exactly what we were hoping for.
Yeah.
And he kept doing his little thing. He would stand, and then he'd go back and rake the tree. So we timed it where like next time he goes, I'm pulling back. And he gave us plenty of time, stood up, got comfortable.
Yep.
32 yards. Perfect shot.
Yep.
I'm just hoping he's dead, which I'm sure he is,
Yeah,
but
he should be.
a little bit. I'd like to find the arrow.
My initial reaction after the shot was that it was perfect. Maybe a touch forward towards the shoulder, but certainly fatal. And Dwayne confirmed the hit as well. But after searching for the next few hours, I started to lose faith in finding him. I watched the footage 100 times on the side of that hill that morning, looking for any clues as to why he wasn't there. But in the end, I don't have an explanation for it. My best guess is that it either hit him in the shoulder blade and didn't get enough penetration, or it hit him a touch lower than I thought. Either way, our first day of hunting in Australia quickly went from being a dream come true to heartbreak. And although we didn't know it at the time, heartbreak would become a bit of a theme for the rest of the trip.
This is our first morning at the new property that we come to, and it just got light out. And as soon as we got out of the truck, we can hear a deer croaking to the right of us, a deer croaking to the left of us. So there's already two.
And they're pretty close.
And they're close.
Wasn't something you said, you were so carefree. With all that's on my mind, used to find a way to get to me. I need a little sunshine. Oh, it's been a hard year. I had a lot of dark nights, yeah. And we're still waiting on some daylight to reappear. Na 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 na. Smoke to clear. Na 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 na. I need a little sunshine.
There's two in the first spot that we just heard, and they're just going at her together. So we're gonna try to sneak in on one of them. The one that you saw, how big is he?
I couldn't tell. I didn't see his antlers.
Well, let's go because they're going right now.
I started to smile, couldn't help myself. Said it's been a while since I felt this kind of peace inside.
This segment of Fatal Impact is brought to you by Tourism Saskatchewan. Experience the beauty of Saskatchewan for yourself.
This area is completely destroyed. have been there. They look fresh too. They're definitely not old ones. They're for sure fresh. Are you sure we should go after him still?
No.
I'm starting to get a little frustrated.
Well, you look like you're hating life, so.
I'm not hating life, I'm just really frustrated.
I'd be lying if I told you that at this stage of the trip, we weren't starting to get a little bit frustrated. Here we were, in one of the most beautiful places in the world that we've ever been fortunate enough to hunt, literally surrounded by hundreds of deer every day, and we've blown every opportunity presented to us. Now we knew coming down here that it wasn't going to be easy. It's bow hunting. It never is. But what we didn't expect was for it to be this difficult to make a shot on such a small, fast-moving animal. Getting into position for a shot was proving to be hard enough, but trying to get a range on the deer while trying to thread an arrow through the brush was presenting a real challenge for us. They hardly ever stopped moving, and there were so many eyes in the group that getting to full draw was tough in itself. And if you managed to make it that far, taking your best guess at yardage and then hoping like heck that they don't duck the string was the final factor to consider. In the end, I know it all just sounds like a ton of excuses, but it was really difficult. We hunted hard, morning and evening, doing everything we could to try and get a shot with our bows. Because of the stage of the rut that we were in, it was almost impossible to pull any of the herd bucks away from their does, leaving us with no choice other than to linger around the herd like a satellite buck, hoping that he would come past us at some point. More often than not, we'd get busted, but every once in a while, we would get a glimmer of hope.